What is that one big judgment that you've been holding on, towards yourself? Which you've never let go? One judgment that you made about yourself and you never let it go till now. Yes, Malika ji, go ahead.
Guilt feel.
What?
Guilt feel.
I
Guilty.
can't hear.
Guilty feel, sir.
What?
The guilty feel. I'm the reason for everything. Guilty feel.
Guilty.
Guilty, yeah.
I'm guilty of everything.
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm the reason for everything.
So is there a difference between declaring yourself guilty of something or taking responsibility for it?
Yeah, taking responsibility.
So that's a good thing. No? But are you really taking responsibility? Because if you have a judgment about it, that means, remember one thing, responsibility is not blaming yourself or shaming yourself. Responsibility simply means that, look here, whatever is happening in my life, I'm the cause of it. Anyway, thank you very much for sharing that. If it's a judgment, that means you're holding or blaming yourself, not being responsible. When you're blaming yourself, you're not being responsible. Just get that. Okay, great. Somebody else. Yeah, you're most welcome. What is that one big judgment you've made about yourself which you're not giving it up? Yes, Colonel Raj.
Namaste and good morning to everyone. Patience and tolerance. Somehow I consider I have extraordinary patience and extraordinary tolerance. My wife doesn't agree to me, but I hold on to that. I still believe I have extraordinary patience and tolerance.
Is that a judgment you have of yourself?
Yes.
Or that is a self-appreciation that you have about yourself?
Whichever way you call it, appreciation or judgment. But more how I believe. I believe that I have this.
That belief is a belief. Judgment is a judgment. See, I'm asking you judgment because judgment is something usually not a very positive one in that context.
Prejudice, kind of.
No, a judgment. It could even be an extreme judgment becomes a prejudice when it becomes blind. For example, I realized this morning that I've always had this judgment about myself. I've never given it up. And the judgment is I'm fat and lazy fellow. Therefore, I'm remaining a fat and lazy fellow, not a lazy. People tell me I'm not lazy, but. So, look and see everybody. Major Raj can think about it. I have a little outage here on the internet. Can you hear me? Yeah, if you don't,
Yes.
don't worry.
Yes, we can hear you. At least I can hear you.
Yeah, I have a little device to keep the router running. So think, guys. I'm asking you. I mean, if you don't want to say it, it's perfectly all right. So what is that one judgment of yours that you have about yourself, which you have never let go? And it has a very, what shall I say, serious impact on your life. Yes, Major Narayanan, sir.
I have judgment that I always please others. I never refuse to others' requests. I never say no. And I always go to great lengths to please others, sir.
Okay, so you don't like that?
Sometimes I don't, sir.
Okay,
It is
great.
ingrained.
Thank you for sharing it. Okay, who else? Yeah, somebody else's hand is raised, but I'm not able to see it. Major Narayanan, done, Gautam?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. I am impatient, but I want, I have to get immediately. I cannot wait. That's my problem.
That's your judgment about yourself. I'm impatient. And have you noticed that you're still impatient?
Yes.
Very interesting. Yes, Baliga sir.
Yeah, but myself, sir, I wanted to do business since long time. The mind is coming, but I don't know if I go there, I will be able to handle my family or not with that money or not. Whether I will be successful or not, but always have an intention to do that business.
That is a nice narration, but what is the judgment you have about yourself?
Judgment of my capability to do that business as being successful there.
Okay, see, one is that you have a question mark about it, a doubt
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
or you have a judgment about it. So what's the judgment you have about yourself?
Judgment is that I may not be successful. I may not be able to.
So the moment you use the word I may not, then it may or may not be a judgment. What is behind that? I may not be successful. Is there a judgment behind that? Think about it.
I'll come back. Yeah, right. I'll think about that.
Kuldeep ji,
Sir, postponing things.
so what is the judgment? I am a procrastinator.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay, anybody else?
Yes, I like to say, I always depend on people. I don't make my own decisions.
What is the judgment you have about yourself?
I can't decide things on my own. I need approval of people.
Okay. That's the judgment, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now a question to everybody who stated their judgment about you. It is obviously something which you don't like about you, except in the case of Colonel Raj, that he said something which he likes about himself. But say we have a negative judgment about ourselves, and we still have it. Whatever it like, if Kuldeep ji says I'm a procrastinator, has he stopped procrastinating? Probably not. So how many of us are using our judgment to justify what we are? For example, I'm a fat fellow, that's it. Or I could have converted it into an action plan and say, hey, listen, I want to have a fit and energetic body, therefore I will also go for a run like Colonel Raj goes every morning. But I didn't do that. If Gautam says I'm impatient, he does not like that he's impatient, but he still continues to be impatient. So if you converted your judgment into an action to create something new, right? If Gautam says I'm impatient, he says, okay, I will do something in order to be calm and patient. And he did that. So my question is, how many of our own judgments that we have about ourselves, we use it as a justification not to change and remain the same and keep blaming ourselves for it? It's like saying, मैं तो क्या करूं? मैं तो ऐसा ही हूं. This is the way I am. So it's fine if we have a judgment about ourselves. It's an entry point. It is telling me something. Hey, listen, this is your judgment about you. Suppose your judgment is I'm not organized. Okay? And I've met a lot of people who are not organized and they'll keep saying, kya kare yaar, I'm not organized. Hey, Baba, then if you don't like the fact that you are not organized, get organized, na? See, those we have worked with other people like in corporate and all, we'll find a lot of people like that. They will use their judgment about themselves as a justification to, not change or not to do the right thing, thereby remaining stuck in wherever they are. So, look very closely at what judgment you have about yourself. There may be more than one. I remembered yesterday we had a nice meeting, Colonel Raj and Kuldeep and all. And at some point, I don't know, somebody said something and I said, oh my God. I've been using that as a justification in my life. Something which I picked up from my father. I will never ask for favors from anybody for myself. It was not only a judgment, it was a conclusion. So like Hasina ji says, I cannot make up my own mind. I need validation from others. It's a judgment, right? You can justify it, your inaction. You can justify not making decision for the rest of your life. Or say that, hey, listen, I'm going to change this. I used to be, I've been in business for a long, long time. And my justification always, I'm very bad with money. Judgment, I'm very bad with money. I'm very bad with numbers. Okay, Baba, you realize that, so do something about it, na? When I realized that, I changed my relationship with money. If I had not done that, I would again be always earning a lot of money, spending a lot of it, and having no savings. That was the pattern in the past. So the point I'm making, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you have a judgment, it may be linked to a pattern in your life which is not very useful for you. And if you realize that you have a pattern which is not useful for you, sometimes we don't know what the judgment is, by the way, but we know what the pattern is. See, I had a pattern in my life, and for the life of me, I could not make out why this is happening to me. So I would make a lot of good friends, and at some point, they would reject me. They'd start talking shit about me and all that. Until the day I was doing one NLP program with a very, very senior teacher of NLP in Bangalore. And I discovered that when I was a very small child, I heard a song which got implanted in my brain and it became a judgment. You know, हमने तो जब कलियां मांगी कांटों का हार मिला. And the judgment that I had for myself was nobody likes me because I'm different. Father Sadarji, Mother Malayali, speaking only English at home. Now you get transferred to a place like Amritsar and you talk in English, children will make fun of you. And when they do that, and I'm saying to myself, see, nobody likes me. That was a judgment, right? And because of that judgment, there was a pattern in my life. When I discovered that, I was able to change that. Or you can find your pattern and use it to justify. See, it is like this only in my life. It will always remain like this. Which one is better? That we do something about it? Yeah? So what I'm suggesting to each and every one of you, if you are able to find out and become aware, okay, look, these are the judgments I have about myself, then each and every one becomes an action plan. Each of them becomes a goal that you can use to change something in your life, to become a better version of who you are.
Yes, sir.
Make sense?
Yes.
So let's spend a few minutes to identify some of the judgments that we have about ourselves. I can see that Abhinav Mathur wants to say something. Go ahead, Abhinav. Please unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone. So I have plenty of judgments, not one, but one which is giving me a lot of pain is, and has been giving me a lot of pain is judgment that other judgment about me impact me.
What is the judgment?
That what people say about me impact me.
What people say about me?
Impact me, like my wife. So whole day she's giving me judgments. Yeah, you should do this, you should not do this. Drink water like this. Drink too much water. Drink too less water. Eat
So
this, don't
what
eat
is the
this.
judgment? What is the judgment? I am influenced easily
Yes,
by
I
others.
influenced easily by others.
I am influenced easily by others.
Yes.
So if you realize that, what can you do about it? I've told you many times in the EMC, na, kya karna chahiye aise. When somebody passes a judgment on you, you can either react to it or you can try to reject it. Either
Yeah.
way, you'll be stuck with the judgment, correct?
Absolutely.
So what else is possible? I've told it many times. Let's see if you can remember it.
I don't remember.
So next time anybody says something to you,
Point of view.
they may be right, they may be wrong, who cares? है ना? Then
Yeah.
you just listen to it and you say in your mind, अपने आप से बोलिए. But that's a very interesting point of view. Whatever they are saying, it's a very interesting point of view now. उनका काफी अद्भुत दृष्टिकोण है. It is only a दृष्टिकोण, right?
Yeah.
तो आप उसको सच का दर्जा क्यों देते हो? If you don't treat it as the truth, will you get upset by it? Somebody keeps on saying, right? You may have another judgment also. What is the judgment about the wife now you have?
Judgment making machine. Whole day.
What?
Judgment making machine. She will judge me the whole day, सुबह से लेके रात तक, and मुझे भी दुखी करेगी, अपने आप को दुखी करेगी.
So that is your judgment. But your judgment is what? अच्छा है. Wow, how nice. She's judging me. ये judgment तो नहीं है ना आपका?
ये भी है.
तो judgment क्या है? What a bad person या जो भी है, कि मेरी दुश्मन है.
What I say to I don't say to her, but if I say to her, तब तो पता नहीं क्या होगा. What I say to myself is कि यार जरा से यार 20-25 साल बचे हैं जिंदगी के, वो भी जजमेंट में निकाल दो. Let's enjoy the moment. बातें करते हैं, अच्छी खाते हैं, पीते हैं,
वो
घूमते हैं.
तो ठीक है. But अगर जो इंसान जजमेंट करता रहता है आपकी, one who's always criticizing you, in your mind, what kind of person are they? Your friend or your enemy?
Enemy.
So you have judged your wife to be your enemy.
Someone who disturbs my peace all the time. Yeah.
ठीक है? So will anything change, or you keep using it as a justification? So what can you do? Okay? Or who can you be that this will change, or it will not have any effect on you anymore? I was also married to a person like that for almost 20 years. But I changed it one day and I realized, hey, this is my best friend. This is the only person on this planet who is willing to tell me the truth about me. Others may be giving me false praise. I used to get upset, यार तारीफ भी कर लिया करो कभी कभी. And the answer I would get is, why to praise you? Because you should know what you're good at. Now, why should I tell you that? There are many things I appreciate, but I should tell you what's not okay so that you can become a better person. You're the most important person in my life. I have to tell you because you are important to me. Then it changed in my mind, And I said to myself, she cares for me so much. That is why she's telling me. मेरी इतनी कदर करते हैं, इसके लिए बोल रहे हैं. She did not remain enemy in my mind anymore. And the interesting thing is, Abhinav, उसके बाद में मुझे चिढ़ नहीं होती थी. I used to not get irritated when those comments would come. Interesting, isn't it? So the first thing
Yeah.
you say to yourself is कि भैया ये तो एक इनका अद्भुत दृष्टिकोण है. That is the first thing I would say to myself. So I'm not getting upset. And the second thing I would say to myself, कि okay, if there is even 1% truth in what they are saying, then how can I benefit from it? Possible? So there are a lot of people sitting. One interpretation you're making up about because of your judgment, you have one interpretation कि this is a bad person, ये मेरा सुख चैन देखना नहीं चाहती है, blah blah blah, जो भी आप कह रहे हो अपने आप से. If you change that into this is my coach and these are coaching points I'm getting, then will you get upset about it? I'm not sure, Abhinav, are you able to hear me or not? Because you seem to be moving around quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm absolutely getting what you're saying. Very carefully.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So, in conclusion, what I'll say is that check and see what is the judgment or what are the judgments you have been holding on to with regard to yourself. And what is the impact of that in your life? So, if you take those judgments and convert them into action points, convert them into goals, then you can bring about major improvements in your life. If you use your judgments as a justification, then you will always remain the same and nothing is going to change in your life. Got it? So thank you very much for being patient listeners.